So, Brianna, watching you grow has been quite the journey in of itself. You're still a bookworm, as you were from day one, and you are equally as entertaining as you have always been. And honestly, I don't really know how this club is gonna feel without you here. When someone says Brianna, there are just a ton of things that can come to my head. Whether it's all the times you'll ask to help me with something, whether knowing me and how I almost never want help, that doesn't stop me from asking. So I really hope you carry that onwards with you in middle school, as well as just all the countless times I've had to take you to the side and have a nice little discussion with you, just about how you talk and whatnot. But I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I mean that. It's experiences like those that make my job what it is, as unique as it is. Seeing you grow, and kind of even whether it's good or bad, whether you succeeded or not, just seeing you put your personality more out there, because you weren't always as outgoing as you are now, and I always felt like no matter what, that's always a positive trait. You know what? Keep that energy, all right? And do your homework, all right? When you're in middle school, I won't be there to ask to see your folder, so you're gonna have to do your homework. Leilany, so I've known you about as long as I've known Chris and Alexandria, although it's not gonna be as long as them, not because we're not cool like that or anything. It's just you kind of come to the club less and less as time has gone on, which is fine. That's usually what happens to club members as they get older. So, I mean, I know it's not anything. When I think of Leilany, I just think back to when you first started here. You came more regularly, just all the times. Anytime I was playing music, Mr. Justin, shut that garbage off. Like, bro, first off, you don't even understand good music taste, so I don't really know where you came at me with that stuff. But that was always funny to me. It didn't matter the song. If it wasn't your kind of music, then it was garbage. So, Azariah. So you started coming to the club this year, so I don't know you as long as I've known a lot of our other members. However, there are still plenty of things I can think about when someone says Azariah. There is the fact that pretty much day one, I was running a game of dodgeball and you just walk right through, as if you're a ghost or invisible, just to say some random things to me. I don't know, it really threw me off. I always thought that was really interesting, how I guess you kind of just, if the balls hit you, they hit you, Or if it was like sharks and minnows, you would pretty much, I guess everyone wants to stop running so you can come tell me some random joke. That was always interesting. That's not a bad thing. I just thought that was really, really weird. I've never really seen a member do something like that. But you know what? Hey, I really wish you could still continue to come as you enter high school. But it was honestly, you made this year very interesting. Just I never knew if you were just gonna walk through my game to tell me a joke. Cross. So you and your brother have made my job very unique. However, I'll be honest, we didn't talk as much until your brother kind of stopped coming to the club, and I imagine you're gonna do the same. So this year I kind of got to know you a bit better, which I can definitely appreciate. I found out you're a crazy gamer. I didn't realize all the cool video games you played. I didn't realize we had that much in common. But something that you started to do this year that really started to show in my eyes is the fact that you kind of started speaking up more when someone was doing something wrong to you or your friends. And I feel like in the past you kind of sat back and took it, or your older brother would stick up for you. But I think this year in particular, you really started to stand your ground a bit more, be a little bit more righteous in the sense of hey, you hear someone talking the way they shouldn't to one of your friends or something, you did it in a respectful way. Hey, I don't appreciate you talking like that, or something like that. You call them out. And that's a really important trait to have in middle school, because I'm sure, as your brother can attest, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to approach you the wrong way. But I feel if you approach it with the respect and the kind of energy you did at the club, you'll be fine. Also, something else I think about, stop getting hurt. It feels like every school year you had some sort of injury. Dude, what are we doing here? But in all seriousness, you're gonna do awesome in middle school, man. You have a really bright personality, and it's gonna show. Just don't be afraid to ask for help with your math homework, all right? So, Isaac, you're someone else I've known for an incredibly long time, and you honestly are like the epitome of an anime disciple. I remember like one of the first days here when I put on the Naruto game, you like gravitated towards it. You were like, bro, you actually play this and all that, and like it's just been a steady climb up this anime mountain that you've journeyed on. But in all seriousness, I've definitely gotten to know you a bit better this year. You honestly, you being on the flag football team, for example, I never thought in a million years you'd even consider it. But just seeing you kind of go a bit out of your comfort zone, and I know part of it was because I kind of egged you too, because hey, I try and get a lot of the fifth graders to do it just because it's kind of like one of the few things, like one of the last things you can do before you move on to middle school, because by then most of the kids are too old to do it. But I mean, I've seen you do a lot of things this year that have really stood out to me, you know, kind of sticking up for other people. You're one of the best when it comes to Power Hour, as much as I know you hate it. Like just in general, you've grown into a pretty cool kid, man. And I cannot wait to see how much cooler you can get in middle school, because you'll be just fine. I know you will. You and your brother have done just fine. So just keep that energy, man.